Hello, awesome you. My name's Campbell, and this is Spiral Up. And today I want us to talk about time and the different times that there are, and of course, the time we're in now. Because there is that verse in the Bible that tells us there is a time to live and a time to die, a time to build and a time to tear down, a time to reap and a time to sow. So let's get in and have a chat about time. And here we are at Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. We will go down. These are all the different versions. Most people like the King James. We'll go to the New King James Version, and I'll just read this through for you. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather them back, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. And that has nothing at all to do with the Wu flu, by the way. A time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war, and of course there is always a time for peace. So there you go. There is a time for everything. Of course, we know there is a time to plant and a time to reap, a time to sow, and of course what we put out is what we get back. What we reap is what we sow. And that's kind of where we are at the moment. We have been reaping for quite a while, but the problem is we haven't really known what the seeds we've been throwing out are, because someone has been coming and giving us our seed bags. And that people, they are called the MSN, the government, big tech, big pharma, all these people, big food. We've gotten into the position that because men and women under law are trusting, loving people, and we should be. The problem is we have unscrupulous entities down here with us who are not like us, and they want to control us, and they want to turn this garden into a factory, basically, that they get to control. And they want to control time. And of course, time is what we're talking about. So the only real time there is the sky. The sun, the moon, the stars going around, the sky clock. That's really the only time there is. This time that we're taught exists, with its minutes, its minutes, cutting it down to the smallest parts that it can to make it a big concept. So when you think about it, there's all these different parts to it, and it's not a nice, relaxing, flowing thought, but that's actually what time is. It's just a nice meandering river flowing along. It's not a wristwatch. It's not a clock. It's not your boss yelling at you, telling you why are you late back from your break, because that's what they want us to think time is. They want us to think instead of there's a time to plant, a time to reap, time to live, a time to die. They want us to think there's a time to sleep and a time to wake up, a time to work and a time to go to lunch. And this is how they break everything down, and they also get everything, the focus down into a day, into an hour, when time is expansive. You shouldn't be able to reduce it down like that. So they are warping how we see time, is what I'm trying to say. And of course, where are we now? Because we've spent all this time as, like I said, as loving humans who see the best in everyone, and we don't, and we shouldn't have to, worry about everyone lying to us, especially the people who claim to be out there doing the best for us. But of course, we're trusting, and this is where we've ended up. So, we did have our time, our time for, being silent, but now it's the time to speak. And, we had the time of embracement, which was a time of, yeah, let's just go along, everything's good, but look where that got us. So now it's the time to not embrace everyone. That means it's a time to find your tribe. It's a time to find yourself. Because if you don't know who you are, then how will you know who your tribe is? So this is the time. This is the time for change. They're trying to tell us it's the time for an economic reset, but it's not. The time is the change of seasons, right? The seasons of the life, the change of age of Aquarius. We're there. This is what's going on. This is what has been going on. Energies are changing, and this is what that verse is talking about in Ecclesiastes. Is it's saying that time is not, these seconds and minutes, and the hours, which of course, is Horus and all this kind of stuff, chronology. But time is actually energy. It's the energies changing in the sky clock. As it moves around, energies change. Seasons change. So of course there's a time to plant, right? Spring. And there's a time to reap, which is at the end of the season. And so where we are now, there was a time for being ruled, which was called the age of Pisces. But there's also a time for freedom and a time for peace and a time for standing up, ripping down what doesn't work and rebuilding with something better. And that's called the age of Aquarius. And that's where we are now. So this is all a big manipulation about time, about no, don't look at the sky clock, don't look up, lock yourself away inside, don't gather, don't talk, because then you might work out what's going on. And they want us focused down in this little physical world where they can control us, this materialism world. But there's so much more. And we're starting to realize this. So it's time, like I said, it's time. It's time to work out what you want. What do you want? Where do you want to go? And where do you want to be in 5 years? And who do you want to do it with? Who do you want to be with? Because these are the questions that are coming out. We know that the old system is falling. It's going to be gone soon. It's crumbling. But out of that, we need to, instead of focusing on it falling, we need to focus on what we want to build to replace it. It's R. Buckminster Fuller said, paraphrasing, don't spend your time on trying to point out the problems and fix the problems of the old system. Spend your time and focus instead on building a new one that works. And that's where we are. So it's time for change is what it is. It's a time for change. The sky clock's moving. The energies are changing. We all feel it. But the government, the mind control, and the idiot box are going overdrive trying to tell us that the change that is happening is a different change. It's a bad change, but it's not. This is us growing and expanding, raising our vibration and our consciousness. And I think at this point they've done their best. I think they're a bit late with Bill's prick, because at this point there's so many people questioning this. Fauci ouchie, that a lot of people aren't going to be on the boat. They're trying to tell us everyone's taking it, but that's all propaganda, guys. It's not real. It's a movie. Not many people at all are taking it. And this is the thing. They were trying to get everyone on that to stop us raising up, to stop us seeing what's going on, to stop us expanding our awareness, because the energies are changing. We're going into, we are now completely in the age of Aquarius for the next 2,160 years or so. And they don't want us to know this. That's why astrology was taken out. It wasn't taught. It was put in the fringes, and that was only whack jobs talk about that. In the last age, that it was all weird stuff. But that's actually the information we need. That's the truth, not the stuff they put in books. So then, yeah, I'm trying to get through the point that, guys, we're sitting in a time. This is history in the making. People will talk about this time for thousands of years. It'll be written about in books. So what do you want them to say about you? What do you want to do? Do you want to stand up and be one of those people who tries to be the light and to shine the light on people and to show what's going on and to help them and to build something better? No matter what people say about you. Or do you just want to comply? You know, how would you feel telling your grandchildren, oh yeah, back when they tried to do all this stuff, I just put on a face nappy and got in line. And your little grandkid will look up at you and say, why did you do that? What will your answer be? So this is the thing. We all get to make decisions. We all get choice. That's the one thing we all get, and no one can ever take away your choice from you. What we don't get to choose, though, is the outcomes of those choices, the repercussions of those choices. So choose wisely, because at the moment, a lot of people are just choosing to just, oh look, let's just do it to get along. Let's not make a fuss. But they're not thinking about the consequences of those choices. And that's really what we need to do, because it's the change in the way that we see the world, the change in our thinking, that will change our actions. And of course, our actions will change the physical world and what we get to experience. And that's where we are right now, guys. Time of change. So change is happening. What time is it for you? Is it a time to plant or a time to reap? Time to tear down or a time to build? A time to toss those stones away, those people around you that aren't helping you, maybe bringing you down, and maybe a time to gather in new stones, a new tribe, people that support you and have your same ethics and values and want to build what you want to build. Because the people are out there, guys, your tribe's out there. And, you know, together we can do this. Together we're strong, because you have greatness inside you. We all do. And together we can bring that out, which again is why they're trying to stop us gathering. So I think I've said what I want to say. We're in a funny time, but it really is time that we ignore all the white noise that's coming at us. Go inside, decide what we want. And when I say decide what you want, when you decide what you want, no one, nothing can change your mind. If someone can change your mind, it's not, you haven't decided for yourself. That's not a true decision. You're going off what someone else has said. So when you make a decision, you're immovable. No one can move you. It's like, here's the line. Try and move me. Prove you can move me. Come on, show me. They can't. Of course they can't. Because when we stand in a belief, shall I say, or a perspective, a viewpoint, we are powerful. When we hold that viewpoint, and that's where we are, we're powerful. Because we're focused. If you have a viewpoint and you say this is your viewpoint, but really you've got all these other ones around the background, excuse me, and you have all these other, niggling voices, then you're not standing in your power. That's not a laser beam focus. That's, a broad beam that people can come in and change. So don't just jump on something. This is a lot of people, they get this image of, I want to be this. And this is, of course, because they've seen other people, and this is how, like I said, we influence people. We can change people by who we are and how we act, and that's the only way we can change people. You can never change people by telling them to change. That doesn't work. But we can definitely influence people by the people that we become, and by what we do and how we live and how we conduct ourselves. Because it's all about the music, right? The song, the vibration. So conduct yourself correctly. Orchestrate yourself well. It's all vibrations. And this is where we are now. The vibrations are changing. It's been very weird, but we are now going. I've felt a big change. A lot of people have been talking about it recently. Something's happened, and we're definitely going in a better place. I'm not sure if the shift has happened and some of us have switched timelines or something. But you're going to see some really good, big, interesting things in the next couple of months, which of course means you need to know who you are and where you stand, because everything is going to be trying to corrupt your mind and trying to pull you to their side and trying to give you false information to make you make bad decisions. It's going to be a lot. So ignore the crap, go inside, decide who you are, define who you are, and make that decision that this is where you're going, this is who you are, and that's it. You're immovable. And if you do that and you keep on that path, you'll get there, and you'll get there a lot quicker than you think, especially at this time in history with so much going on and the energy's so palpable. Change is happening very quickly at the moment. So whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, decide it, Live it, act it, and be it. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got something from that, guys. Thanks for spending some time with me. I really do appreciate you all. I appreciate all the amazing comments I get. They really, you guys are just awesome. And so, yeah, please, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Hit the like button, and please share this content around if you think that it'll be beneficial for other people, because at this point, information is everything, right? And it's hard to find good information. So if you do think someone can benefit from this information, these videos, please do share them around. And there we go, guys. Have an awesome day. Look inside yourself, because there is greatness in there. And I'll talk to you all on the next video. Bye for now.